A bit late tonight. Sorry about that. Bit slack. Hey Mark, hey Bill. Don't know if anyone else is going to turn up. I only just published this like 3 minutes ago. Can't find Stephen Lang, hello. David, hello. You guys are amazing, really, for actually tuning in or looking out for this and tuning in. You must have thought it wasn't going to happen because I was a bit late. I didn't post it till like 5 minutes ago. Dan Shed, g'day. Dan said, are you ready for live stream? And I said, oh, I forgot about it. So, yeah. Here I am. I got stood up on the weekend again. Dan was going to come and kick around on Sunday, but obviously he's got other plans and other people that are much more cooler than me, so that's all right. I'll live with it. I'll be okay. Means I can get some stuff done, actually. See, he's not even particularly apologetic about it. Anyway. Was it? Good day. And good morning from Australia. Hello in Spain. Hope the snow's finished and stuff. I had a friend drop by on Sunday. Raining heavily, yeah, it sounds awesome. It's a nice day here again. So probably it'll be like this for the rest of the winter. We're supposed to get a wet winter, but we've had a wet summer, so I'm not sure about that. Rain on a plane in Spain, that's important. I was going to do this live stream upstairs, and I almost did, but anyway, here we are. Nice weather in Sydney, apparently. Can't find the screw for this GoPro mount from my tablet. Does that make any sense? Don't know where we're going here. Let's try this. Maybe. Now you're all seasick. Friend dropped by with this box of Remus, among other things. We'll get to that in a minute. And that. These are filthy. They're a lot cleaner than they were. Getting chilly down south. Nice day up here. This one didn't fit in the box. It's an awesome gift. These are Cleveland Tool Company, I think, originally. They're the ones that actually fit in the box. I've given them a bit of a clean up, some of them. Some of them are pretty ugly. Aha, that's why you need a screw in this. We haven't got one. Sorry. We're going to do a job here. Oh, it's busted. Interesting. Didn't know that. Interesting. Put that on the list of things I probably need. I've probably got a new piece for it somewhere. There we go, that's done up anyway, that's solid. There's not too much wobble in that, is there? That's all right, you can put up with that. That's not going to drive anyone bad. Sorry. Kevin, g'day, good video this week, Kevin, from you. Enjoyed that. I think I fell asleep at the end of it and probably never put a comment, but I have watched it. Russ Knox, happy Wednesday to you. Clean these up, they are not a lot really, but they have sort of cleaned up a bit. This was full of basically dirt, like full. And I've cleaned them up and I've given these a wipe down, and a couple of them already. See, these are Cleveland Tool Company, and they're getting a bit old, and they're a bit untidy, and they're a bit ugly, and they're really pretty much foobar, really. But some of them are microset, and the microset one's mostly pretty good. There are some exceptions, like this atrocity. Don't know what's happened there. That's terrible. There's no blades in it. There is actually a packet of new blades for that one in the box, but for that particular reamer, but this is about had it, so I don't know. I really don't know whether I would have ever bought a set, and Dad had a good set of Sutton's, basically microsets, and Tom Wansig got those and bought those off us, so didn't bring them up here because at that point I didn't really foresee a use for them. Some of these big reamers probably I'll use occasionally, but they're a bit rough. Anyway, I've spent half the weekend cleaning these. Now, it wasn't that bad that I fell asleep. It was that good that I couldn't wait till morning, so I had to watch it before I went to bed. That's how exciting it was. And I got through, but I thought, hey, I could get up and put a comment from the couch, or I could stay here, so I probably stayed there. I've used them on occasion for jobs. Very useful if you're fitting a bush to something that you've made in the workshop and you've got to go out in the field and make it fit the machine. Very handy to be able to take a couple of thou extra out of a bush. How much money will actually get spent on the microsets? Probably can buy new blades from the Cleveland Tool Company ones. Don't think got hope, and then there's some odd stuff as well. Journeyman Red, Randy, g'day. There's quite a lot of blades. Most of them are pretty ugly. Some of them are alright, probably. They could all do with a sharpen. That's a Cleveland Tool Company one with the gullets in there, I think. Yeah. It's pretty ugly. There's a few of these English reamers which may or may not even be the size, I don't know. But they're probably worth putting in the reamer box. That one looks like it's about 5'8". Is there something written on it? Easy Cut England. 5'8". I doubt it's 5'8", but probably would clean up to 10 thou under 5'8" or something like that if you wanted to sharpen it. There's a few guides for them to go on the end. Nothing of any real consequence. These are fairly ugly. That one's missing the nut off the end. Probably not a big deal to make one if you really had to, but this one here says the Cleveland Tool Company. Quick set. Size. It's a size Z. Or Z if you're American, I guess it's size Z. Don't know what else it says there. But anyway. So that's a box of reamers. This looks like it's a long series 5/16 reamer. 3/8 and 5/16, I reckon. Probably of no earthly use to anything, and I'll have a nice carbide one that's a bit shorter, which I'd used before it. There's a couple of these. Not sure how good these actually were. They sort of worked, I think. They're cut right through in the middle, and when you do the screw up in the end, it swells the middle out a bit. It gives them a bit of cut. But usually the ones you see are broken or cracked. There's two there that are half reasonable. Both about 5'8", something like that. What's written on that one? Same deal, Cleveland Tool Company. 5'8" minus 1 thou. 4 brass, it says. 4 brass. And 3/4 one. There's a wood bit, which will probably go in the wood bit box. It hasn't got the end broken off it, so it's probably half tidy, and it'd probably clean up and sharpen up all right. It's not bent. There's this one. Any idea what this is? This has got a taper on it, and a Morse taper on this end. Really good guess. I haven't got a clue, to be honest. Bit of a mystery. I'm sure it has a use, but I don't know what it is. There's this that's had a colossal amount of abuse and busted off and been welded up. Not a lot of sense keeping some of these things. There's this one, which is probably a tapered pin reamer. Don't know, it looks like number 1 or something. Number TEC, high speed steel. This is number 1, but I don't know what taper. And there's this one that's been abused also. It's got half the teeth missing. Really, someone's put it in a bit of hard stuff about there. Anyway, that was a bit of a score, I guess, and I've had fun messing around with it. Hey, Murray. That's probably a really smart idea, Bill. You grind them down to a 0.1 or 0.2 metric size and label them accordingly, you'll find a use for them. I've got some nice reamers, but these probably don't include in the... Don't actually include in the list of nice reamers, but yeah, they're repair only pretty much. Lots of good junk. Probably I'll get this box halfway up and running and going. Let's stick these in here because none of them actually cut. There's yet. Why not put them in there? There's this abomination too, which is a probably 1/8" with a socket jammed on the end of it. Very useful thing. Scrap metal's worth a fortune right now. Probably, yes. Anyway, that was some of the treasures in this lot. There was this box, and this box has already been through the, not the cardboard, but it's been through the the washing up tub out there and been degreased. There's some cool stuff in here and some not so cool stuff. There's some lettering stencils. This is mostly, well, it is drawing equipment. It's not to everyone's taste, I know that. There's a very nice shadow lettering stencil. It's a pity that the other one's missing, or the other half of it's missing, but got a really nice shadow stencil there, which is rested now. It's the English one in this packet, and a template of what the letters actually look like. Very cool. Lettering stencils are kind of cool. They're kind of obnoxious things because no one ever used them, and the ones that are used are totally abused, and the ones that aren't used they're kind of unusable. There's a stencil that says CCMB, no idea what that's for. There's some French curves. Some of these are all right, some of them are awful. There's a German sort of half there lettering stencil. I've got quite a few of these in different sizes. There's a broken set square. You love all this stuff, I know that. There's another broken French curve. There's a circle template that's probably half tidy. It's another cheap stencil. There's a helix drawing sets. Circle stencil. It's also broken in 3 places. There's a Mills rectangular protractor. That's pretty cool, I think. It'll go in the drawer in the collection anyway. It's kind of cool. Another broken set square. Inner and outer circle templates. It's a pretty good one with a handle. Also English. Guess a lot of this stuff's sort of 70s. It's the other half of that stencil set. There's a nice MSU lettering stencil that's missing a couple of bits, including the middle out, the P and the O and the etc. It's another one of them. So it's all good stuff. It's a nice teacher's kit. Acrylic triangle. That one's an eraser template of some sort. And a set of numbers. Another broken French curve. A template for something else. I've got no idea what that's for. If anyone can lead to anything, any sort of give me some sort of a idea for that. I've got no idea. And some scale rules, some nice scale rules. There's a Woomer, the Australian made scale rule. Well, that one is anyway. This is a W&G, which is also Australian made. And some of the more typical triangle ones. They're a pretty nice set of squirrel rules. These are Kent. So they're pretty good. So there's some bargains in there. And some not so bargains. And some stuff now I've showed you will probably go in the bin. Because there's not a lot of point keeping some of this stuff. Try not to keep too many broken things. I mean, that's kind of, yeah, it's Kent, but it's also busted. The lettering stencils I'll keep until I get a better example. Some of these, yeah, they get used occasionally. So, good stuff, hey? Who's excited? Yeah, got a good couple of good lettering stencils, oh, also good eraser stencils or eraser masks. So some pretty cool things there, and some reasonable quality stuff. Some of it's crap. Also is this box, which is the same really. I've got no idea what Dominoes is. Dominoes defeats defects anyway, whatever it is. It could be a biscuit tin or something. I've got no idea. Anyone has got any idea what that's for? I've got no idea. We'll have a look at this in a minute. There's a bit of crappy carpet. We could toss that. This is full of rusty compasses and dividers. Not sure it's worth keeping. Is that bad? There's another pretty ordinary pen. Like, it's German, but I've no idea what brand. It's probably a half decent compass. There's a bit of weight in it. From a collectible point of view, it hasn't got rotring on it. I'm not particularly interested. But CDS, I've got no idea what that is. There's one 7H pencil in a box. It's below. New 7H pencil. So that's kind of a score because that's a good pencil. There's a good box of H5s. 5Hs. Also the Stabilo. So that's a score. we've got things like that in a box, I'll take the rest of the junk and dump it on my way home. There's a box of school kids stencils and rulers and things. Probably very unlikely to keep that. Does anyone know what this is? So I put this in with this and I really don't know. I'd say it's a piece out of some sort of a drawing machine arm, but I've got no idea which one or what. There's half a bottle of Faber Drawing Ink, which has got a price on it. I can remember when this used to be $5.85 for a bottle. It's not anymore. There's a nice lead holder mechanical pencil, right? It's pretty good, except it's cracked. This plastic's cracked. Good mechanical pencil holder. But this is cracked, so whether I machine another one or make one out of brass tube, I think it's too thin to 3D print. I sort of thought about that, but might make one of them out of something. Probably got some engineering plastic. I could put a thread on that and get it, because that's probably just a curiosity, and it's not a bad pencil. But nearly my Stade Mars is broken here too, so it's a common issue. We'll see how that goes. Might not actually happen. But there's a project. Brass is nice, it's a bit heavy. Two hands of scratch brushes. Score, absolute score. Useful for drawing, cleaning up on tracing paper, but also very, very nice for polish and stuff. And if you keep one in the workshop, a very handy thing for putting a finish on small contoured parts. The awesome thing in this box is a box of refills, so score. There's half a broken box of leads, broken leads and broken box. There's a Rotring eraser, which is no good at all. A T20 eraser, which is a very good eraser, but there's not much left in that one. And an eraser holder, but the eraser's shrunk so much that the holder doesn't fit anymore. I've got a roller tracing. I've got sheets of tracing paper upstairs, the thick, good stuff. Heap of mechanical pencil leads. So, all good stuff. Probably unlikely that I'll keep half of it, as sort of if anyone wants any of it, except for the good stuff, you're welcome to it. This ink's probably all right. It saves paying $30 a bottle for it, which tends to be what happens nowadays. It's all in a very cool tin, but it'll go in my drawers up beside my drawing table, I guess. Mila's very nice. Very nice stuff. It's getting a bit expensive though. A1 sheet of Mylar now is about $7 or $8, and it's getting a bit silly. You've got to sit down and actually be keen on producing a drawing for that, and that takes time. So the score in that box was this. This is the score, basically. It's got a broken lid. Which is a pity. But this is an early or mid-70s, late 70s, I guess, Rotring variant pen. In fairly tidy condition. There's no cracks, it all screws up, it all works. And a set of nice clean nibs that have been looked after. I went through and I ran them through the ultrasonic and I gave them a good clean up, and I ran a bit of solvent through them and sort of tidied them up. Cotton bud and a bit of solvent on in the cases where they're full of ink, etc., etc. Got this sorted and up and running. 0.8 tip in it. This is a nice pen, this. I've got, I guess, I don't know if I've ever shown anyone my collection of drawing equipment. I do have stuff, but so this is a fairly nice pen. And one of them, which is also a score, which is actually the key for removing the nib. So, total score. Very nice to get vintage Rotring stuff. I've got some modern stuff. I've got some various ages right through. I've got boxes and things, but I haven't got very many pieces from the sort of the 70s and the 80s, but this is really nice. So Stevie, if you're watching, thanks heaps for dropping this stuff off. It's really nice. So this needs some glue or a polish or something. I don't think you can fix this. If anyone's got an idea how you could restore this, it's cracked through here and it's broken in two pieces. It used to be clear once, and probably you could polish it up, but you're going to always see the cracks in it, I think. So I'm not happy with that. So in some downtime I messed around and printed this, which is, anyone know all the fancy printing stuff? This is CPE, which is in engineering plastic, really. It's nice and flexible. Fairly nice finish on it. And I just spray painted the letters after I recessed them down, drew it out and recessed them down. So I've got a lid for that anyway. It's not clear, but it's not bad. Pretty happy with that. So that was one of the weekend's jobs. So pretty happy with that. That was the score. It is a variant. This is the first variant I've got. I've got a lot of isographs. I've got some rapidographs. I've got a few others. I've got isograph Fs, I've got the isograph 2000s, I've got isographs, I've got all sorts of stuff. This one hasn't got anything written on it except made in Germany, and of course the red ring, and of course this is on the box, and these so tips to go with have got it written on them too, and you got wrap variant. Article number 7004, 0.8 millimeters. So they're one of the things that amuse me, I guess, in some small way. Anyway, that's sort of what I did all weekend. Bit slack. Oh crap. Apart from that, today was a crappy day at work. How was everyone else's day? I guess everyone had an amazing day. Some of you are only just up, which is really nice. And that sounds great too. I'm actually really struggling after this COVID thing to get back on top of this. I get to the point that by about 2 o'clock, I'm really feeling like I need a nap. And a nap for an hour would be awesome at that point, but it hasn't happened. And I get home, I'm about done. I do a serious amount of lettering for work. Yeah, I do. I spend a lot of time lettering at work. And that's really nice. But I really like these pens to do proper drawings and projects that I am sort of procrastinating on. Murray got fired. In Spain, I believe they have a nap in the afternoon. David's probably sitting there thinking, well, why don't you have a nap in the afternoon? What's wrong with you? So, today was a crazy busy day, but I got through it all right. I was on my own all day in the shop, so. Tomorrow's another day at it as well. But it was good to get home. I haven't done anything in the workshop tonight. I had mystery project parts that I was going to make, and I still will sort of make. I cut some bits to length. That's about it. Excited to get on with that too, but I got sidetracked, I had visitors and things. Listed some stuff for sale and sold some of it, which is really good. Thanks to anyone who's watching this who actually jumped in with some assistance from buying things that they probably didn't need. I really appreciate that. At least one guy come yesterday and picked up one building kit that I moved on, like a machine casting kit, and he was over the moon to get it, so I'm a bit excited that might actually get built. But that got me out of a bit of a hole too, because yeah, real talk is that Australia is getting an expensive place to live, and until wages start to go up again, it's going to be expensive, and then you've got to find a balance between wages being sort of living and or livable on, and everything else going up, so that we're back where we started. So I don't know. Kim Bazalek, good morning. Do I have any more IC engine castings? No, not for sale, really. I don't. I'm sold up. I do have a watch cleaning machine that I would pass on if someone's interested. You've probably got to be local, but it is there. Gentleman Randy, take care. Thanks for tuning in. And all of you, thanks for tuning in. What else? What else has happened? I don't know. Last week was a bit long because we moved over to the lathe and started talking about that, and I apologise to anyone who had to listen to that. Promise not to do it this time. Oh, I'm just yawning now. Yeah, it's May the 4th, so it's Star Wars Day. Anyone who's a fan, I respect you for that. I respect you more if you're not. That was harsh, wasn't it? And John Creasy will be away actually celebrating. And looks like Jason Burns is. He's probably wearing his Ewok costume as we speak. I think John Creasy's more a CP30. Was Monday a holiday for Star Trek fans? No, Monday was a holiday in Queensland for it was Labor Day. I'm not sure why we celebrate Labor Day. But it was in Queensland. I don't think it was anywhere else. I spent most of Monday having a short talk to Dad's solicitor in Tasmania, which really wasn't all that enlightening, but come out of it with a better understanding of the process and all that stuff. So I've had a few visitors. I haven't really been anywhere. It's probably May Day. We're not pagan enough or Christian enough to celebrate May Day as a national holiday. Some of us are, but nothing happened here for Beltane or May Day or whatever you want to call it. And some of us were too busy to remember. That's all right too. But anyway, it happened whether we want to or not. So the year's sort of advancing in the right order, which is kind of reassuring when a bit inclined to think that maybe it's not. What day is Star Trek Day? Yeah, good question. Yeah, there's some funny people out there. That's all I can say. A bit weird. Who else had a video up this week? 0.6 leagues above the sea isn't far above sea level. Jan Rinder's engines. Has anyone built any Jan Rinder's engines? I'm not sure. I haven't. They're all pretty small and probably by nature that pretty fiddly. To be honest, they're nice looking engines. They've got some good ideas and they're all pretty straightforward builds. But no, I haven't. It's actually Star Wars Day, I think, not Star Trek Day. You stuff that up, you start to mess with everyone, and then we get fights. That's how fights happen. So, well, I just haven't done much in the library. I did clean up upstairs fairly conclusively. Bill Baggins has this theory, right? You should do a video about it because I'm not sure that I take him seriously. And if he did a video, it might sound like he was more serious if he explained the whole series of theoretical events that led to it. Bill has this theory that if you have a spare shelf, right, then you always have a home for everything. I'm reluctant to believe that it works, but if anyone's had experience with this, Bill would like to hear from you because he needs probably a couple of case studies before really you can prove it to be an actual thing. So if anyone thinks if you build a spare shelf, then your storage problems are over once you get if you've got a spare shelf with nothing on it. Pretty confident that doesn't work like that, but I'm interested to know. So from a purely scientific aspect, I'd really like to know whether that's an actual winner or not. I never had much luck with it. That's all I'm saying. If anyone wants a sofa too, anyone who's watching this is local, wants a sofa for the workshop or for the man cave or for the corner of the bedroom to hold the corner of the bed up or corner of the kitchen to hold the corner of the kitchen table up or whether you want like you've got a patio that needs a sofa on it so you can go out there and have a nap. I've got a sofa that I give away. So just saying. You got yeah, the spare shelf theory it sounds a bit extreme and probably a bit nut jobby, but Bill should be able to tell us whether it's real or not. Well, that makes it a very, very useful form of measurement. Probably not the most useless ones in actual use today, but it's getting there because no one knows how much a US fluid ounce is. Not even the Americans. For a long time I dealt with some pretty stupid measurements at work. Nowadays we don't anymore much, which is really good. There's no like French inches and lengths and whatever 128th of a ling is. Does anyone know what that is? I haven't got a clue. But watch glasses and parts used to be ordered in those measurements, which was a Swissage. Basically the not a particularly useful measurement, but it's sort of interesting if you want to look it up. I think it was Charlemagne. Who thought he'd send out this party of surveyors with basically a chain or a ball of wool or something, and a notepad, and thought, well, they can measure the length from from one end of France to the other. Gosh, sorry. Train of thought. But yeah, wasn't particularly successful. And of course he fell out with oh my gosh, which king was it? One of the kings of Wessex, or one of the kings of one of the English provinces anyway, over the king's wife, or the Charlemagne's wife, or someone's wife, or someone's concubine, or someone's servant girl or something. And it never really took off. So I think the story is that when Charlemagne died, they actually just measured his foot and divided that into 12. And that was the French inch for the next 1,000 years or something. Not particularly useful. Just the way they did it. None of those measurements are particularly useful, but it doesn't really matter because you can't actually get a catalogue anywhere in the world that actually uses those measurements as a method of ordering. So therefore, it's sort of, no one cares whether they're actually things or not. Yeah, so anyway, it's a discussion for some other time. I'm really not feeling up to that. It's used on one bridge in Massachusetts. I don't think it's used on all bridges. And I think it's just heresy anyway. I think it's got a plate on the end that says this is how long this bridge is in Smoots. I'm really not sure that there's any survey rod so that you can actually go and check the bridge and see if it's moved or anything like that. Or it's, yeah, anyway. I might stand corrected on that, but anyway, it's just measurements are stupid. Tenths of a millimetre is about as good enough for me as it's going to be. Printed another puzzle box too. This is a prototype. This was on one of the print sites. It's kind of cool, but it doesn't really work as well as it should. Oh golly, this is a fun thing, isn't it? There we go. There we go. So, take care, Kevin. Good to see you. Not a particularly exciting live stream tonight. I'm struggling to stay awake, to be honest. But anyway, another puzzle box. Not particularly well fitted together. It's just got a dot there, which isn't really big enough, which works in this groove. So you can work out how to put it together or not. Bit of fun. Not anywhere near as good as that last one, the Cryptex I made, which is quite a well-designed, well-made thing. Take care, Kevin. Go and check out Kevin's video when you're done on the pipe grinding attachment. It's pretty cool. So that's another job I've done this week, just sitting around with the printer doing nothing. I thought, well, I might as well have it going. So that was one of those things that you can't live without. There's really not much good with. Might redesign the outer cover and make it sort of a little bit less, a little bit more foolproof. Anyway, to be honest, I'm probably going to call it a night too. I'm sorry about that. I'm just not feeling it tonight. And tomorrow's another day. Really glad you tuned in and took the time. It's really appreciate that, even from right across the world. It's a pretty crazy thing that you do, and I really do appreciate you tuning in. I'm not sure I've got a lot to offer sometimes, but it's a fun chat. And look, you guys should promote yourself a bit. Jump out and say, hey, look, I've got this video out. Come and check this out. Absolutely. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And more soon, I think. If nothing else happens. Back to work tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. We'll see how we go with that. Anyway, sleepy. Take care, everyone. Be kind to each other. And yeah, have a pretty much an awesome night and a good weekend.